All right, people. All right. Good afternoon. Hope y'all having a good Saturday. What we're gonna do today? We're gonna do an Argentina speed run. Hopefully, this will work. Being as a Fascist Argentina. From what I hear, you can unlock Mustache Man. I will not say his name on YouTube, but let's see how it works. So let's go ahead and get started. Right now, we have to deal with as far as our national focuses go. We got minus 15 in dock output and dock construction at minus 40, which is going to be tough because I might need that in order for me to invade the United States. Stability is almost at minus 10. War support minus 10. Political advisor is plus 25 in a red. God, dog, this country is war torn right now. They haven't even went to war. Minus 10 on consumer good factories, resources and market 20, trade law costs plus 10, economy loss cost, wow. But civilian factory construction speed is plus 5. That's a good thing. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get started. Is the game music on by any chance or no? Probably not. Let's go ahead and get these divisions right here. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to go with the infantry division start off. I want to switch all of this to a mountain division. And the reason why is because the plains right now, or this whole area, if I can find where's this terrain, mountain. All of this is mountain, mountain, jungle forest, mountain. South America is practically almost 60% mountain. So in order to conquer these countries, you need to have a mountain division. Just having a regular infantry is not going to cut it. As far as conquering Brazil, you're going to need Marines, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Let's go ahead and get a general. We'll go ahead and get Juan Perón. As far as a field marshal, we'll go ahead and get Pablo Ramirez, who got brilliant strategists. As far as technology go, we'll go ahead and do the usual thing, which is basic machine tools. And let's go ahead and do construction one. Let's get out of the red with the sheet metal. So right now, I need military factories bad. So what I'll do is, let's not do that first. Let's go ahead and build civilian here, civilian here, civilian here. No, not there. And and here. We'll go ahead and make military factories here, 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 here. Go ahead and do every other one. Run this up like that, as so. Yeah, we'll take this out for now. Let's do this. That's enough to start off with. Let's go ahead and do this political decision. Let's go ahead and reorganize the railway, which will give us 300 in supply hub. Supply hub here, 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 here. Now let's reorganize this railway. Go on speed 3 to start. Always remember, whenever you're playing Hearts of Iron, make sure that you do this right here. Put yours on. Always put your generals on priority mobilization instead of just using horses. You're not going to get your supplies on time. Let's also go ahead and get the close air support and all this. We'll go ahead and start training them up. Let's also do some training for the Marines, or the Navy, should I say. Let's get some artillery going also. Still got to make another trade for steel. Need that ASAP, so let's go ahead and do Chile. Our national focus. So right here is your fastest path. You can either choose pretty much the non, yeah, this is the non-aligned area, and this is the fastest area. From here on down, we got to work this all the way down till we get to here. I'm only taking this path right here. I could, this stuff here will touch in every now and then, but at the moment, let's get this started. We'll get Roberto Ortiz Maria. Let's also get some destroyers going. I don't want to get no infantry yet. Um, till we get better equipment and better experience. Pick this for the production output. That way we get the guns going fast as it is. Can't get the close air support going until I pick that focus yet, but we're not worrying about that at the moment. What are his stats? He got 10 attack. Let's go ahead and have a defensive doctrine. Oh, we can't even get that yet. That's right. Then just go AFK for a minute, really. know there's something I am missing on, but I don't know what yet. It'll come back to me eventually. I'm not too much worried about the political side of it. Trying to figure out why this music ain't playing in the background. Hold on, let me save this game real quick and check my OBS. Give me a second, guys. I'll not load back. Save. That's why. That thing there is stupid loud right now. I'm an ear grape, y'all. Because you can't say the R word on YouTube. That's for sure. Okay, February 26, 1936. Let's go ahead and train these guys too. I totally forgot to do that. These guys are almost done training. Okay, now we got past the Maria focus. Let's go down to work with the nationalists. What I want to do off rip is go straight to free trade. That way, it gives me a speed bonus as far as construction. So it's down to speed 3. Who in South America got tungsten? You do? Fine. Take all of what you have, Chile. The political map looking like. Need to get this to 1,000 to at least make some infantrymen, and then later on down the line, get them to switch out to turn into mountaineers also. Like I said, this is gonna be a long process. Construction is going fine, as I expect. Excuse me for the construction going on. There's nothing I can do that in the background. So if you hear it, I apologize in advance. Of course. Actually, let's go ahead and get this real quick. Commandeer trains also. Have a defensive doctrine, and also later on down the line, charismatic. And make a front line over here in Uruguay. Okay, our research is done as far as our basic machine tools. Go ahead and do electronic engineering. Work with the nationalists is done. Let's go ahead and stop this. Go down, crack down on the corruption, which will give us 10 plus on political power, minus 10 on production efficiency, construction speed at minus 10, war support at minus 20. At crackdown of corruption, but the stability will go up. The production efficiency cap will go up. Daily support for the underlying, daily support for the fascism. So it's not going to completely throw the government off guard, but or throw it off to the side, but pretty much keep us somewhat balanced. I'm not trying to be fascist so quick. You guys done exercising? It's good enough. Jesus, I just broke the economy, but okay. So if that's the case, then I got no oil silos at all. I do gotta build this right here. I'll do decide to invade here. Put you somewhere up here. I would need that military factory so fast. But if I got him, need him Just a surrender limit will go real quick against anybody who I face. Then somewhat financial demigod, no, fascist demigod, or if not a silent workhorse. But I need to see what can I benefit off of that. Do gotta research trucks too. So they're actually communists. Okay. Not in the line. He's democratic. Chile. Yeah. Liberal democratic. Fascist. Democratic. Democratic. Fascist. We all know what you is. Let's go ahead and get. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go ahead and get improved machinery. That way we can maintain the efficiency gap. Let's go ahead and cut ties with Great Britain. Our opinion will go down by 50 for Great Britain, but our consumer goods will be minus 20, plus 5 on world support. Trade laws will be minus 10, economy laws minus 10, daily fascism plus 1. Which is a good trade-off in my opinion. This is pretty much the template that I'm thinking about making right now. I unlock engineer yet, but engineer also. As far as the mountaineer side go, really all you need is just support artillery and you're good. Actually, no, take this out. You can have something like this. Something like this in. You start off with 58 with a breakthrough of 25, but the defense is crazy, so you're not going to get countered like that. The organization may go down, but once we unlock the special forces tab, we should be good. We're good enough for now. Let's do 2 to start. Well, 1 to start off with. Took a location here at the moment. Actually, you know what? No. Let's put them over here. This is what I'm gonna use to naval invade them. That organization look atrocious though. No worries. Got times with Britain is done. Let's pick another focus. Support the radical. Which give us +10 on daily fascism. Recruitable population by +10. And war support of +5. Daily democracy goes down by -5. Let's pick this first. What did I pick the last time? Was it superior firepower? See, I did a test run with this, so that was superior. To me, this is way better. Grand Battle Plan is also good, but it's the soft attack is what I want. Soft attack and the defense. Plus organization and soft attack. Organization and soft attack. It makes up the difference on whatever kind of infantry division that I make. So we'll go ahead and pick superior firepower. One thing about this whole, it's good, yes, but it's a waste of time. This to pick these is a waste of time. I'd rather pick this later on, like a little bit further late in the game, than to pick it early because you need political power just to get anything going around here. As far as playing with Argentina, so you're better off just doing it like that, just leaving it alone altogether. Just keep going down this path. Stop the clock. Let me see something. I gotta go here real quick. Get that plus 20, which gives me a 54, which therefore would allow me, or should I say grant me, the ability to go ahead and pick special forces, which is going to be very important for me to use to go down here to get this, and this. Because like I said, a lot of South America is all mountain, 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 mountain. Heavy jungle right here. Mountain. Even this long strip got mountain right here. You need mountain divisions in order to play South America. It's like you're almost forced to play mountain divisions with South America. Granted, you could play infantry, but the speed will be very slow just to get on that mountain. Mountain, 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 mountain. No mountain. Heavily dense forest. Was that forest? Yeah, heavily dense forest and mountain. I need that now. I'll wait till later. Keep running the clock. Now, this infantry can go over here. Give him a general. If I remember correctly, it was... No, not you, not you. Hold on. Dude. Did you got engineer? And we'll make a invasion point for here to here. You. Go there. Yo, what's happening, man? How you doing? Let's go ahead and get that for piercing. Get some support equipment. I do need to get trucks, so let me get a truck going for that. What kind of mod you making? You know what mod they need to make? They need to make like an actual Cold War mod. The mod that they got out now, I'm not impressed by it. Africa mod, ooh, now that'd be a good mod right there. That'd be a good mod. What's the timeline going to be? 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 30s, or 40s? What's the time span going to? DLC size more for African releasables. Oh, that'd be nice. You know what? That might be nice. That's actually nice. Stop this clock real quick. See, the problem with tanks in South America, you just can't use them. Like every African nation is independent. Yeah, that'll work. How would you do as far as fascism, monarchy, or democratic or communist? Like, how would that work out? Like every African nation is independent. No, I know that. Tanzania. What about Tanzania? The major nations above the Sahara are Algeria and Egypt. Interesting. Marius, what's up, Marius? Good afternoon. Marius, I would love to get mustache man. I did 5 runs off stream with this man. I just don't like him. I just don't like him. I can't do him. He makes my whole army goes to crap real quick. Infantry, mountaineer, Nate, everything just goes to crap when he comes through. Everybody talk about how he's so OP. I just can't do it. Tanzania is the only major below Sahara. Oh, okay. If they're if those two what you say, Algeria and Egypt are going to be the majors. You should have a path where they could do a reverse monarchy and invade Spain, and then do a sort of reverse kingdom, how they did back in the 1670s, 1600, 1700, if I'm correct. What do you recommend for a division pushing? This is what I recommend. Marius, when you ask that, you talking about as far as South America or just in general? Because if it's gonna be just in general, you want to get something like this off rip. That also engineer, but you see, I ain't got that unlocked yet, and at least artillery. Just with that alone, like you're gonna be at like 112 as far as soft attack and about two something in defense. That's without any buffs yet. Algeria will be able to go to Egypt. Will go to ah makes sense. Now that's for pushing. If you want to make like so called, but if you want to make like a budget division, like you could remove this, remove this, remove this. Just have one one artillery, then your artillery, anti-air support, and engineer. You can go that route too. And then if you want to make a defensive division, in my opinion, take all this out, take all this out, just put one artillery and engineer. And that's it. And you should be good to go as far as defense. Sometimes it's not how much you can fill in a box. Sometimes the least is more. The less you have, the more you have. Because you also got to remember, you got to take into account the soldiers who, or your recruitable population right here. The more you put on there, the more you're going to be out of manpower before you know it. I don't I don't recommend going to full artillery division. Here's the thing about full artillery division. You can go full artillery and use superior firepower, but the movement is slow. If you're gonna go full artillery, you might as well just not even go full artillery. You can go infantry and have a truck division or infantry mobile infantry division. What is it called in this game? Hold on. Or mobile trucks or whatever it is. Mobile infantry. Have that as your support. And that works just as good, if not better, than artillery. Now, this is just my opinion. I'm no expert in this game now, so I'm speaking about my opinions. Expand the military. If your UI is way too small, then you can always go to game options and try going to video, and you can just pick whatever mode or resolution you want. These are my settings right now. So if you want to copy off of that or take a screenshot, go ahead right now. Hey, no problem, man. You're welcome. Just gotta remember too, like it's also your zoom in too. Sometimes you're like DPI on your mouse. If you're trying to zoom in and out, it will like kind of mess with your head as far as like thinking that your screen is bigger or smaller than what it is. So keep that in mind too. So we're gonna split this close here. We give him sun and give him some, which is 5 and 6. Whenever you have fighters in place, whenever in whatever country you start off with, take those. Let me pause this real quick. Whatever planes you have, the little bit that you have, the little teeny bit that you got, split it to whatever small army you got, because you're gonna have to split that. It does you no good just to have a whole division of air forces right there with just one general, and the other generals like needing close support bad. It's one of the major mistakes that beginners, even me when I first started playing, make. You're trying to rush through a country, but yeah, you're stuck now because you didn't split your divisions. Now we're able to try to unlock our engineer company. I want to take this LA real quick because I need the support equipment. Want a mod that's like good, but about 1860s. If you're gonna take a mod or a route, do the American Civil War. I have not seen American Civil War mod yet. I mean, even if I did, I can sit there and review it, but chances are it'd probably be historically incorrect somehow. Hey, good afternoon, the guy. There's the Empire mod, but it's early 1700s. Yeah, but that 1700s, like, ain't that based in Europe though, guy? Because if it's based in Europe, then I'm saying is this: like, somebody need to make a Civil War type of mod. There have yet been a Civil War mod yet that I have seen. And of a new beginning, the official stream version. That's an actual mod. Interesting. Hmm. I have not I have not heard that before. That's interesting. All right. I'm not saying I don't believe you or nothing. I'm not saying that. I was just I haven't even seen. See, here's the thing too. When we talk about mods and about 1700 mods and stuff like that, or just year mods, I determine it based on what streamers would play it and what streamers won't play it. And this goes beyond Tommy K, because a lot of people, when they hear an opening statement like that, they automatically think of Tommy K. It's beyond Tommy K. It's rare that you see it like on Twitch or YouTube. You may see it as far as like EU. or Victoria. Like I think that's that game is like Hearts of Iron, but like the middle century or medieval century version of it. I need to get some kind of superior firepower going. Jesus Christ. I need more military. Or should I say, yeah, Army XP. Whatever the hell it's called. I don't forgot. It's a good conversation, though. I'm loving it. I mean, what's y'all guys' favorite mods? Like, what is y'all greatest mod of all time, in y'all opinion? Not ready yet. What is your favorite time period and why? There was a mod that I used to play, and it wasn't even on this Hoy. It was on a different Hoy too. That mod was called Black Ice, and that mod was on Hoy 3. That was my favorite, only for the simple fact it went beyond the war. It went beyond just like World War II and just regular like news. Like they would that Black Ice mod on Hoy 3 was very in depth. The problem, the one thing I did not enjoy was the NATO symbols. I cannot deal with NATO symbols. Just give me something simple. I'm not that in depth with this game. Like NATO symbols are so confusing and it's hard to like differentiate. I can honestly say that mod was like way ahead of its time, really. The Great War Redux. I heard now that one's also is a good mod. That's a very good mod. That's probably one of my top fives right there. Now Kaiserreich, that I seen people lose their mind playing that mod. Nah, I'm good. The headaches that streamers take playing that mod, nah, I'm good. You think they're overhyped though? I mean, very. I'm not gonna say it's a bad mod. Like it's a good mod. It's the headache of that mod. I can't do it. I can't do it no matter how hard I try. I see streamers literally lose their mind playing that Redux. I rolled to 56. Yes. Road to 56 is good, and the fact that like when that mod first came out, I looked at that mod. I said anybody can take that mod and just remod it in many different ways. It's like basically like when you build a building, you always have to have a solid foundation. Like that mod is a solid foundation of a litany of things that you can make up with. Within that same time period of 1936 or 33 all the way up to like 1956, if I remember, 60s. Some got 56, some got 60. That's what I love more, the politic and economic side of it. Now that the Millennium mod, I really enjoyed that mod. I think there were a couple things they could have done better. I think they could have went more in depth as far as the economic side of it. But they had a good basis though, as far as like trying to bring that in to people. That is gonna go more than just beyond building civilian factories and railroads and stuff like that. If I was to pick one that had like the best political, in my opinion, it's still Row 56 because even with the Tommy KRP mod, or I forgot what was his name, he just came out with a mod too. Streamers have remodded that game and brought more political side to it. And as far as like multiplayer, it's like you can't guess a person's, like you can guess it, but you don't know exactly what their motives are, which made that mod way good as far as the political side of it. Let me see. 50 plus political power. So let's volunteer limit of 50. Max volunteer force divisions 50. Divisions require send volunteers. Let's go over here. Get this done and over with. In the last 100 years, you're asking what was the best empire, in my opinion, or best of all time, like greatest of all time? Need trains too. Psych. Need to get that back in. I'll go over there to him. Me too. In like the last 200 or 300 years. As much as I hate to say it, Great Britain, hands down. Uh, Great Britain, hands down. You have to understand that, like, this is an island that fought against the French for like almost what, close to 100 years. Fought against Napoleon, beat him, captured him, sent them to an island remote, came back, fought him again, sent them back to a remote island with twice as more generals. Then on top of that, you still okay. Then after that, you go through World War I, win World War I, go back to World War II, stood against Hitler. We're using the brink of like losing the whole island and the empire itself with those Commonwealth countries that they had. Then after you beat him, though it was to help by the U.S. and USSR, but I mean, he could have caved. Like a lot of people got to remember that Great Britain is a country that's half the size of France, twice as small as Poland, half the size bigger than, well, actually, pretty much the same size if you put Belgium and the Netherlands combined. An island that's 5 times smaller than Norway. Like that's an empire that's withstood a country that just ran through roughshod Western Europe and beat him. Then after that, Argentina go take the Falkland Islands, which, by the way, kids, in case you didn't know what the Falkland Islands is right here. Waited for Argentina to come through. Man wasn't even in power. It was a woman that was in power too. If I remember correctly, it's Margaret Thatcher. Retook the island, kicked out about what, a good 1,500 Argentinian military troops, made them surrender. Then after that, like in the last 200 years, think about it, in the last 2 to 300 years, no man has conquered this country. They have tried. Many have tried. Many have failed. Napoleon Bonaparte, in his glory and his grand army, was able to get this country right here. I want y'all to keep this in mind. I want y'all to put this in retrospect. Think Napoleon had half of this country. Look at how big this country is compared to this. It's hands down. It's Great Britain. There's no question. Now, was Spain good at one point? Yes. But Spain relented, and people knew there wasn't even an empire no more. Once Puerto Rico was gone in the First World War and was taken by the U.S., everybody knew that Spain was not a power no more. They lost their power between Puerto Rico right here. Then after that, the island of Guam. Is it here or yeah, Guam? Like, come on. And what makes it even more bad is the fact that they got punked out of Puerto Rico because the U.S. supposedly set up a so-called they acted in defense, but really it wasn't. It was just a big ruse to sit there and say, "Oh yeah, Spain sunk one of our ships. We're invading." Come on. I live in the U.S. and I'll tell you right now, the United States, yes, is a powerful country, but this island was taken by force. Where's Hawaii at? Hawaii was taken by force because they overthrew a queen, not a king, a queen. They had no threat to them. No threat. Then they set up a dictator right here in 1978. They kicked out, if I remember, was it Costa Rica or was it Panama? They kicked out the president of Panama. They put in the Democratic head up in there. Then on top of that, they kicked out Noriega over here. Though they were guilty of selling them guns. Though, and they also knew that they were getting drug money from them and drugs as a landing point or as a jump point from here to here to what was it? Where's the island at? Where's that island at? No, that's considered Jamaica. Where's no, no. Oh, if it'll come back to me, I'll show you. But from here to here, like, come on, let's be real. If anybody thinks that America is like not even an empire but a dynasty, sadly mistaken. America is not a dynasty. America was warmongering at one point, and a lot of the territories that they have as quote unquote Commonwealth countries, or unincorporated countries is a lie. It's Great Britain hands down. And I'm not saying Great Britain is innocent of anything. Great Britain did some atrocious things to the African people too. Let's get that straight and get that out the way. I just don't. It's like when you talk about empires or what was the greatest in the last 200 or 300 years, people always have this debate about what was good, what was not, what was the best. But we have to weigh out what they took, how they treated their people. Then on top of that, let's weigh out also the fact of the things that they did wrong versus the things that they actually did right. There is no empire in the last 500 years that ever did anything good for anybody at the end of the day. Well, except maybe Great Britain. Now, at this point, they're trying to right the wrongs, but at the end of the day, the history that you make will determine your tomorrow. Give me 1 second. I'm going to use the restroom. Do you consider Wilhelm the second Kaiser of Germans as a good guy and not a crazy person? Mm. Wilhelm Kaiser. I don't know much about him. I've heard of him. I never did my study on him. That's one I have to look in deep and see whether or not what exactly what he did. What time period are we talking about when he was on the throne? If he was Kaiser or Emperor or head of government, whatever his title was at that time. So we're talking about 1859, June 4th, 1941 is when he died. Okay. Yeah, he was crazy. If you really want me to be honest, then yeah, if he was there during that time period, yeah, because if that's the case, then pretty much by default, he's the one that actually put. Sorry to say it, he actually was the one that started communism. Because whoever decided they had a smart idea to go ahead and try to get Lenin to start a revolution and start communism, communism would have never existed, and Adolf Hitler would have never existed, regardless what the outcome of the Second World War would have been. Because chances are they would have kept on fighting. Without communism, they wouldn't. And I didn't even mean to say that man's name. Communism. If communism never existed, Mustache Man probably would have never existed. It would have been a crazy man, but people would have never buy into the whole Jew stab in the back theory. You gotta remember, emperors and kings and whatnot, they were just fighting just for sport. But that was like around that time, that era was started to die as far as emperors and kings. Everything went straight to like political houses and political positions. The First World War was just based on pride, just to see who was the better country. And at the end of the day, who lost? Germany lost. He didn't even really have to go to war. If we really think about it. But you went to war. You decided to capitulate. You freed a man that later on became the Communist Party, who ended up dying under mysterious circumstances after so many sicknesses and whatnot, aka Lenin. Like, come on. Yeah, but they mobilized. But look who was running Russia at that time. I forgot his name too. The quote unquote dumbest king that ever existed in history. Nicholas, I forgot his last name. He had to mobilize, but yeah, like they that still could have got tucked out. They still all that could have got talked out. It was a bunch of it. It was a bunch of pride, yes, and on top of that, Germany wanted another war too. At the end of the day, they were biting at the teeth, just trying to get another war in. There was all this talk about Nah, Nicholas was not okay. Nicholas II was not okay because there was a lot of blunders he did. You had a magician in your house doing questionable things and probably, committing affairs with your wife. It's like, that's crazy, bro. Nicholas Romanov, thank you. And the Second Russian Empire, that's correct. And he spilled a lot of blood too. He killed his own people too for unnecessary reasons. And he starved his people to death to only then have that same anger for another party to arise, kill his whole family, or should I say, delete his whole family, to only then have somebody in power to make it even worse. Let the Duma have more power and improve the economy at a good speed. Yeah, that's true. It was at a good speed, but what good did it do when Russia got pushed back real quick? Don't get me wrong, like I got nothing but love for Russia. Like I I kid you not. Like to me, now if you ask me what is the greatest country that ever came back from the brink of death and like pretty much being speaking in any kind of language, is Russia. Russia defeated Napoleon. Russia, and it because of their always good and faithful friend, the Cold Winter, defeated against Mustache Man because of what their good old favorite friend, the Russian Winter. How many people try to get Russia for years on end, and never could conquer it? There's a quote in the beginning of this game that when it starts, and it's a true quote. Land and population, yeah. But that's what I'm saying though. Like, there's a quote in this game whenever you open this game, and it says, "Russia by her size cannot be defeated. It's too big and too large of a country to ever be defeated." You can push everybody back to the mountains, and people are gonna regroup and come right back. I mean, think about it. A country that came back from Stalingrad and started pushing the German army back. They were losing 7 million, 6 million, and they were still spamming out 5 million, 10 million like soldiers. Like, what country in the world does that? It's her size by itself. It's undefeated. You just can't win against that country, no matter what. Now, maybe, if you nuke them to death, but even then, I don't think that will work. If you nuke Russia, we're all in pretty much the final days then. Ain't nobody gonna live that. Germany was made to lose because the generals decided not to revolt against Hitler, though. I mean, Mustache Man. I think you meant to say America has no chance. I don't. I don't think it's a question about America's chance or whatnot. If right now, let me put it to you like this: right now, if we have a war going on, right now at this moment, let's say it was America versus Russia, there ain't gonna be no infantry. This ain't gonna be no F-41s, no none of that. No, there's too much technology today that the only way you will see soldiers versus soldier or hand to hand combat at this point is if everybody's technological weapons go down the drain. Like, we're completely out. This is all we got left. That hand to hand combat, shooting from distance and snipers and this, that, and the third. No, it ain't gonna be like that. It's not gonna be like that. Whoever wins the technological war, or ties it, is going to come down then to men on the ground or women on the ground. But right now, there is none of that. World War II is probably the last time you will ever see men shoot at each other out in the middle of the field. And I'm just speaking in a war perspective. Now, no, it's too much technology. It's too much. There's too many rockets. There's too many nukes. There's too much. There's too much GPS. There's too much everything that's computerized. Everything is computerized, no matter what you do. Let's go ahead and bait them real quick too. It does. I don't know if you watch this guy on YouTube, but there's a guy named Johnny Harris. He makes some good videos about governments and militaries. He had a video where Russia was shooting like rockets and whatnot, and the computer chips that was inside were made 90% was made in the U.S. I said, you can't make this up. From companies like Texas Instruments and who was it, Siemens, and oh no, Siemens is German. I forgot what was the other country's name, but it was just wild. I said, so you mean to tell me we're out here just making chips for opponents to then shoot each other up and shoot them with it? What do I think about socialism ideas? I haven't really thought of that lately. Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. Lately, I've been working so much, I haven't even had time to get back to political things. I'm not gonna lie. I can tell you this: I have been watching closely the situation that's been going on over in Cuba, where people are starting to revolt and protest against the government, and that's a long time coming. If history taught us something too, that whenever a country revolts and it's their third time revolting or protesting, after the third time, there's usually an invasion that comes right after within the next 6 months to a year, or if not, a overthrow. I believe we're close to that point now with Cuba where I say by next year of August, there will be no more communism there. Because it was funny that Cuba was having protests 4 days later, after a week has passed from the very first protest. Trump came out saying, if you elect me president, I'll make sure to try to liberate that country and whatnot. I'm like, well, yo, I think this might end up happening. A country that still to this day haven't been liberated in the last, what, 64 years? I mean, go look it up yourself, Marius. As a matter of fact, hold on. Let me finish this real quick and I'll show you the video of what the Cuban president said now. What he said was wild. Like, he actually thought that he can say what he say and think he was not going to provoke a response from somebody. Right now, if I have to choose one of the two, I have to choose Trump. I'm sorry. I'm not a Trump supporter. I don't share the views that he have, but as far as conservative views, I share his views. Some people may call me Uncle Tom or a house nigga, whatever. It don't matter, bro. Listen, at the end of the day, and when I say this, I want to say this without trying to demean the gay community or none of that. I'm not trying to demean y'all, but this didn't get out of hand until Biden got in. I'm sorry. This has gone way out of hand. Where you got 5 and 6 year olds trying to figure out what their gender identity is or their sexuality. Nah, it just gone way too far. This is out of hand right now. This is just way too out of hand at the moment. These kids is barely learning their ABCs. Why are we trying to teach them what gender they are? It doesn't make sense whatsoever. And I respect anybody that helps their country. Don't get me wrong. What I will not support is somebody trying to perpetuate a lie, though. And this man completely lies from time to time. To perpetrate the notion of kids know what their gender is and stuff. No, man, stop. Don't do that. Or I mean, this got out of hand. We literally got adults saying that don't identify me as a man or a woman. Identify me as a horse. Like, what are we doing out here, bro? I'm sorry. I can't. I can't. If my string get cut off because I spoke my truth and what I believe, then I'm sorry. Let it be what it is. But no, we're not doing that, man. Come on. I can't perpetuate a lie. I just can't do it. We go around here identifying ourselves and no. Weird, man. It's just too weird for me. That's just my opinion, man. But it's like this. What if you're awake? Awake is okay. The meaning of the word wake or woke is to be conscious, to know exactly what you're doing at that time, to have an understanding of what you're doing at that time. If your understanding is that you decided to go from understanding to not understanding to then purposely not understanding the difference between man and a woman. You see, here's the thing that gets me. We'll sit there and perpetuate a lie about how can I put it? How can I put it? To have an understanding of I'm a cat and I'm a dog is one thing. I that's just crazy and stupid. But it's funny that we're forced to know the difference on people like me who have conservative values or have a conservative mindset or was raised with a conservative mindset to where know where what's the difference between a biological man and a biological woman, but yet we're out here saying no, you don't know that this, that, and the third is him, her, or they or him. But yet let's say for example somebody get deleted and you see the lifeless deleted body in the middle of the street, you'll identify that as a death. You're not identifying that as life. You're not identifying it as, oh, there's a terrorist laying down, there's a protester laying down. No, like, come on, what are we doing? What are we doing? it's funny how the basic things, when it's beneficial to the person who perpetuate the lie, they will acknowledge. But yet, when it comes to something that they try to perpetuate to you, now I have to go with what you say. No, I'm not doing that. No, sir. No, I have no idea. I have no idea. That's a good question about that R too. Catch another one. Can't catch me with that one. I'm sorry. It's crazy to me. It's just so crazy right now. The fact that we live in an era now that now I have to I have to identify to what you are. Like, come on. But you know what's funny too? And it's nothing against, you know, it's nothing against them or nothing. It's just the fact that like you will identify a baby as a male or a female, but then wait till it gets two to then tell them, okay, you got to find out who you are. Like, nah, bro, what are we doing? What are we doing out here? I don't know. I can't tell you. I really don't have an answer for that question. That's something you might have to Google yourself and figure that one out. Attack here. He should be dead. You go here. You go here. Best countries in the world. Best countries in the world. You know, your format of your questions remind me of somebody right now because they do the same exact thing. If there's one thing I know pattern switching. I know people's patterns, and I pick up on it real quick. But I'll go ahead and suffice you if that's really you. I mean, I just said it just I just know certain patterns and I know certain things. I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's not a bad thing. I can tell you that. Nor is it not a good thing either. But we'll go on with this. We'll go on with the conversation, man. It's not a problem. Best countries in the world. If it wasn't war torn and ravaged the way it is, Cuba could have been one good country. Uh, but it's not. So it's really Spain, Great Britain, Germany is also a good country. Netherlands is also a good country. Denmark is also a good country. Finland is also a good country, and Iceland I would love to go.
¡Los estamos repeliendo, señor! ¡Los estamos repeliendo, señor!
This is crazy. This has not broken yet. Thank you. I was about to say, there's just no way, bro. There is no way.
¡Listo, señor! ¡Sí, señor!
Ain't no way. Sway, that should be broke by now. Golly. Oh. No, that could have helped too. Don't know. That's a personal question I can't answer. Give me a second. I'm gonna take a break. I'll be right back. I got a headache right now. Alrighty, I'm back. Alright, let me take your navy, which you have none, but I'll take them anyway. Take that. Select that. Take all that. Confirm, and congratulations to me for conquering such a small country like that. Upgrade this, yes I can. And we got some free military factories, so let's go ahead and put one for guns, one for artillery. Actually, no. We're good on artillery. I need support equipment is good. Anti-air is what I need. I need more anti-air.
That the settlement of the Czechoslovakian problem, which has now been achieved, is, in my view, only the prelude to a larger settlement in which all Europe may find peace. This morning, I had another talk with the German Chancellor, Herr Hitler.
And the man is appeasing the German people, which later on he's going to be proven as a complete joke. Unión de la Nacional Fascista.
Some of you perhaps have already heard what it contains, but I would just like to read it to you. We,
Game-based stability and fire.
and the British Prime Minister
There we go. We'll get that.
are agreed in recognizing that the question of Anglo-German relations is of the first importance for the two countries and for Europe. We regard the agreement signed last night and the Anglo-German naval agreement as symbolic of the desire of our two peoples never to go to war with one another again. We are resolved that the method of consultation shall be the method adopted to deal with any other questions that may concern our two countries, and we are determined to continue our efforts to remove possible sources of difference and thus to contribute to assure the peace of Europe.
That's right. I got to research bomb locks. Damn it. All right. All right. Well, with that being the case, let's get some more military trucks also. What's my construction looking like at the moment? Nice. Oh, that's right. I gotta build this too. Get artillery too. Need breakthrough more than anything. Considering the fact that the field marshal only got defensive. Mary, is she still there? So what else you want to talk about? Well, nothing. I can do that. Get an extra research slot going too. Let's complete our military staff also with naval movement. Gotta change those conscription laws now. Let's go to limited military conscription. Got another bonus. We'll go ahead and put that on there. Switch it out. A lot of World War II stuff. A lot of wars. A lot of wars. A lot of military stuff. And a lot of political stuff also. Actually, no, I don't want to put them out there yet. would Mustache Man would have won, or how he would have won is what you're saying. He had a he had a chance to win. His problem was the fact that he got beside himself and he actually believed the fable lie that he was above anybody and everybody. And when I mean that, as far as him, I'm talking about him in the military itself. He would have won if he would have listened to his generals. He would have won if he would have never opened a second front in the West and fight a two front war. He would have won if he didn't waste the Luftwaffe on trying to win Britain. He would have won if he didn't really ask or declare war against the USA. He would have also won if he would have sat there and convinced Franco to join him in a battle. There's many ways he could have won. He would have won if he would have stopped his soldiers from trying to get into Russia in the middle of winter and kept on pushing them too. There was a lot of military blunders. He would have won if he would have let go of his Tiger tanks in the middle of in the Battle of Kursk instead of making von Manstein wait. He would have won if he would have pulled out of Stalingrad. There's many ways he could have won. If he would have pulled out of Stalingrad, he would have not lost 3/4 of his army too. The loss to Stalingrad is what really made the difference in the war. It wasn't a problem. It wasn't a democracy. It was just. When I say this, I want this to be clear that I do not support any kind of ideology. I'm just speaking of the blunders of what he did as far as government, political, or economical wise. When you start off invading Poland, and when you invade Poland, you already put people on rationing. That doesn't help the economy, no matter what a person thinks. To me, that doesn't help the economy. When you introduce rationing and it's 6 months out from the war, no, I'll take that back. It was 2 months away from him invading Poland on September 1st, 1939. It would have helped the economy. It would have helped the German people to be like, oh, okay, we didn't even need to go to rationing. So yeah, I'm willing to participate. A lot of people didn't want to participate for the simple fact that what was going on, they didn't take it lightly because they were fed all kind of lies of propaganda about, oh yeah, Polish people are attacking us and Polish people making terroristic acts and stuff like that. Don't do that, man. Come on. Another thing too, Hitler got beside himself after conquering countries before the war to think that Poland was a pushover and thinking that they weren't going to sit there and call on Great Britain to help him. He was warned too anyway. The fact that he wanted Danzig back, Danzig was of no military use. He wanted to start a war. He needed to start a war because he wanted to see what his military could do. He couldn't do it against Czechoslovakia because they caved in. And Great Britain stepped in. And he wasn't ready to fight a war on two fronts then. But after he found out what type of person Neville Chamberlain was, he was like, oh, well, this ain't nothing. He's a pushover. All of this is documented. Even he sat there and said they took away my war when Czechoslovakia caved in. But he was gonna turn into a warmonger anyway. Mustache Man already had it in his mind. He wanted to fight because he was still bitter about what happened in the last war. People knew he wanted to go to war. This was no secret. You could hear it in his speeches.
Sí, señor. Firme.
You hear it in his speeches all the time. He always speaks about the first war, the stab in the back theory. It was just a lot of things he was preaching in those times. And when I mean preaching, I don't mean it in a good way, but I like using that word from time to time, preaching. But he pretty much just fed them a bunch of lies to get the people riled up. One thing about the German people, they were very prideful of who they was in their country, which I got no problem with it. Their country got a lot of historical background. They fought wars after wars after wars, but at the same time, like, come on now. He had the people in his hands because of a lie, and he ran with it. And the people heard the lie so many times that they took it as truth. They took it to such a truth that they started deleting themselves before World War II ended.
Listo.
You think Germany could have survived as an empire if World War One didn't happen? No, I don't think so. I don't think as an empire they would have survived, but I don't think the government would have collapsed. They would have came up. They would have just brought a democratic government, or if not, a monarchist government. But we will never know. I mean, yeah, it was a monarchist it was a monarchist empire. It's just you gotta think. Okay, you gotta think. Let's say World War One ended and they were on the victor side and whatnot. Would it have an influence to make other countries turn monarchist? No. Apart from Great Britain, no. If anything, it would have pushed more to a democratic state in different countries. People would use that as propaganda to say this is what monarchist empire does, that we need to turn democratic so that way we as a people can have some kind of choice. It would have pushed more. Europe would have got pushed way over to the democratic side, or like a governmental side where there's like a republic and a democratic side. Democracy. Thank you. It would have been seen as an oppressive. It would have been more socialism. But then you got to think for every. But you got to think too, Mary, is at the end of the day, you got to think. Okay, democracy at that time was being okay. Let's say we go back to the original history after World War I ended. People wanted democracy, and then you still had fascism, and you also had communism. So it's like it would have still, in a way, opened a door. It would have still opened a door back to fascism and communism. If it would have stayed monarchist, it would have opened the door even bigger. I think there would have been a couple more wars after. France had ideas, but France had the agenda that once Germany capitulated, that in the First World War, to blame them for everything. And that's what really started the Second World War. It just started with Mustache Man sitting there and just trying to retake land and, being anti Semitic and whatnot. It started right in the Treaty of Versailles. It was That's why their sole purpose of the non-conditional surrender of World War II, because they did not want another country like Germany or anybody else, for that matter, that to sit there and say, "Look, we're bitter because look how they treated us." I can go as far as to say this: if how can I put it? How can I put it? If Germany was not punished the way it was, there would have never been a mustache man. Never would have been a mustache man. There would have never been the stab in the back theory. There would have never been civil unrest 10, 15 years later after the Treaty of Versailles until the National Socialist Party got into power. It was very anti-German. It wasn't even anti-German. It was just straight hate Germany. If you look at any kind of peace, compare that peace treaty of the Treaty of Versailles and look back at all the wars but behind that. You can't tell me that wasn't so biased. It was biased. Now even Napoleon himself made such demands, like, which is crazy. So of course, when that peace deal came out, the American solution was the only one who wanted no war. Yeah, but yeah, and that's true. But it's like going back to the Versailles Treaty. Like, if that Versailles Treaty, which it took years to come to an agreement with, which I don't understand what kind of treaty you had that it takes years to stop a war. That's just stupid in my opinion. But that's neither here or there. But the fact that you have a country being punished in that magnitude, you cannot sit there and think for one. You can't sit there and say for 1 second that y'all didn't see it coming. Like, come on, it was mercilessly wrong. It was beyond wrong. I can't understand how a country like that. And you know what's crazy? A lot of historians they like to throw this in there, and I don't agree with it. Oh well, Germany asked for this. It's like beating a dog, for example. You don't think at a certain point that dog is not gonna get out that corner and try to bite your face off? Like that's exactly what ended up happening. Yeah, I know. I don't think the. I think the. I wouldn't say they the bad guys. I think they were the greedy guys in this. They were just a greedy. They were the greedy side. They felt as though that it's like you don't think for 1 second. You cannot tell me for 1 second that you didn't think that this would happen. Nobody in their right mind thought for 1 second that you don't think this peace treaty is so harsh that it may arise another Germany or another country or another form of Germany may arise from this. Like, come on. They seen this coming. They seen it coming. It all came back to greed, and then the fact of the reparations, it's beyond atrocious. You crippled a country to a point where they are angered. They go to civil war. The government is thrown off. Nobody have no direction. Then you got Mustache Man who comes out and says, "Listen, this is not your fault. It's these people here, and and being anti-Semitic." If he wasn't anti-Semitic and he wasn't, I put it to you like this: if he would have just went to France, I would have understood. I would have understood that. But the anti-Semitic and all that other crazy stuff, nah, I ain't agreeing with that. France asked for that, but Mustache Man got caught up in his Magnomania too. He had illusions of grandeur, thinking that he was gonna actually run Europe at one point or run the world. Like, no, you no, you're not, dude. And his time was up anyway. Even let's say for example, he would have conquered Russia. America was ahead on the nuclear bomb anyway, on the atom bomb. We was already ahead on jet engines too. So it would have took, let's say he would have conquered Russia another what, 5, 10 years. He would have got conquered anyway. I mean, they would have remained. They would have been a democracy, but then how many times the government would have been overthrown, and they would have re-elections after re-elections after re-elections. That's what Mustache Man did. Whenever there was a law passed that he didn't like, he'll take all his party out of parliament. Before you know it, there's another re-election and another re-election and another re-election. That's a problem too with the Treaty of Versailles. It crippled Germany so much it really didn't even recognize its own government neither. They didn't know what they were doing. And that's true. He considered he was anti on making nukes, but at the same time, it didn't stop him on trying to make a rocket when he was getting pushed back into Germany though after he conquered those countries. So trust me, if you would have found out there was a way to get to make a nuke, Mustache Man would have made it real quick and try to do something with it too. Yeah, remember, this man knew that if he lost the war, he's not coming out alive. He's not going to be taken alive. He's seen what happened to Mussolini. Rock, a rocket called a V2, which only killed or deleted 40,000 people, and he dropped over 100 of those. Now look at the desperation: 100 nukes, and you only have 40. You only had like 40,000. Nah. But yeah, he was anti-Jewish because he was anti-Jewish on a Jewish person making it. If it was German made, or if there was a scientist in Germany that would have found out how to make it, you don't think he would have used it, man? Oh, well, Hindenburg always to blame. Hindenburg was a person that had that believed in his own lore and folklore. Like, ain't nothing on the market really. What do I need? One thing about Hindenburg that I can say though, as far as the blame part, I agree with the blame part. Just for the sole reason that Hindenburg was one person that kind of antagonized the whole situation with the National Socialists. But at the same time, he antagonized it but went about it the wrong way because he was trying to defend values, but the way how he went about it was messed up. He kind of overplayed his hand with the mustache man. I mean, when he became president, he really should have rewrote the legislation to where any single time the National Socialist Party didn't get what they wanted, that they will have to re-elect. But at the same time, Hindenburg too, mustache man did the worst to one group, the monarchists, because he basically took Bismarck as the symbol of the Kaiserreich flag to Wilhelm to, and that's true. That's true. I agree with you on that.
Mr. Speaker, on Friday evening last, I received His Majesty's commission to form a new administration. It was the evident wish and will of Parliament and the nation that this should be conceived on the broadest possible basis, and that it should include all parties, both those who supported the late
I'm not trading with. I ain't trading with nobody. What about South America? Who's in South America got this? Need still, damn it. That'll work. He played Wilhelm into sending more money to fund the pro-war groups and to send his support for the war. Yeah, he did. He also condemned a lot of soldiers to go in there in the middle of a machine gun fight when they were having trench war too, and then claimed that the losses were not as big as what it was advertised. Like Hindenburg, at the end of the day, like with Hindenburg, like Hindenburg is how can I put it? What's the word I'm looking for? An anomaly. That's the word I'm looking for. An anomaly.
Listo, señor. Listo.
How do I get back down? I need 60%. What's the percent at? Are you freaking kidding me? Hold on. Get the hell out of here, communism. God dang it. Alright. During World War II, we talking about? Somebody gotta get fired here. Dang it. Get in there. Partial mobilization also. The monarchists got power. How that would have played out. You still had who else had issues with each other? Well, Japan and USA still had an issue that was not resolved. That's another one. Italy would probably invaded Austria, and then probably invaded Germany if they didn't cooperate, or if not, invade pretty much the Balkans, Yugoslavia, and so on and so forth. That area. Okay, well let me put it like this.
A greater objective for the Germans in the air than to make evacuation from these beaches impossible.
If Germany would have been monarchist right here, Austria was right here, that would have got taken out. This would have got taken out. This would have got taken out. They probably would have came over here, or if not, invade France because
But the whole purpose of the war is
it's one thing I do know: Italians, they're used to mountains and high grounds anyway, so that would have never been nothing. They probably would have ran through Switzerland, but once again, people were scared to go to Switzerland because everybody and their mother had a gun.
for
If a woman gave birth to a baby, the baby came out the womb with a gun.
Sir, when we consider how much greater would be our advantage in defending the air above
It
the
would have been a
mountains
long and
against
drawn out fight
attack,
between Italy and Germany, but
I
Italy
find
probably would have beat
practical
them then.
firm basis upon which practical and reassuring thoughts may rest. I will pay my tribute to these young airmen. The great French army was
I mean,
very
Hitler himself didn't even want to invade Switzerland. He knew what was in there.
cast back and disturbed by the onrush of a few thousands of armored vehicles. May it not also be that the cause of civilization itself will be defended by the skill and devotion of a few thousand airmen? There never has been, I suppose, in all the world, in all the history of war, such an opportunity for use. The Knights of the Round Table, the Crusaders,
I'm sorry, I mean Mustache Man, by the way.
not only
I don't remember to say Mustache Man. If not, they're gonna hit me with a strike.
these young
Because you
men
can't be historically correct.
to guard their native land and all that we stand for, holding in their hands these instruments of colossal and shattering power, of whom it may be said that every morn brought forth a noble chance, and every chance brought forth a noble night, deserve our gratitude, and to all the brave men, in so many ways and on so many occasions, are ready and continue ready to give life and all for their native land. Nevertheless,
Nah,
our thankfulness at the escape of our
it
army
wouldn't.
and
I
for
mean,
the men whose loved ones have passed
if
through
we're going by the World War II timeline, then Wilhelm wouldn't even be there at that time. I mean, would he be there? I don't know. The government was still going back and forth, and Hindenburg was already around that time. Him and Hindenburg would have got into a fight over who would have power over Germany. At the end of the day, Wilhelm would have probably won it. But then, once again, fascism started here. People tend to forget it didn't start up here. It started here.
factories have passed into the enemy's possession
I mean,
through the channel
if that's the case,
hands with all the tragedy
these two, you could say these two probably would have got in line, attacked here,
expects another blow to be
all this up here.
immediately.
They could have got this here and here. They would have been good.
We are told, sir, that Herr Hitler has a plan for invading the British Isles. This has often been thought of before. When Napoleon lay at Boulogne for a year with his flat-bottom boats and his grand army, he was told by someone, there are bitter weeds in England. There are certainly a great many more of them since the British expeditionary force returned. Sir, I have myself full confidence that if all do their duty, if nothing is neglected, and if the best arrangements are made, as they are being made,
You could say Italy wasn't strong at that time, but who's to say that Germany's army was strong at that time if Mustache Man wasn't running the show? You gotta remember they were still respecting the Treaty of Versailles. Those treaties did not apply to Italy and did not apply to Spain.
alone. At any rate, that is what we are going to try to do. That is the result
The generals are incompetent, but they're gonna be made look like intelligent because why?
of Parliament.
You gotta remember, if I remember correctly, wasn't 100,000 they got conscripted to? They couldn't make nothing above 100,000.
Will defend to the death their nation,
Italy could have came up with what,
each other
500,000, 750 easy.
to their strength.
We're not even gonna talk about over here. Over here, they can get 1,000,000. Like it ain't nothing. Ain't nothing for them to get 1,000,000. Spain ain't nothing.
We shall fight with growing confidence and
The only reason why this man didn't get it involved in the Second World War, he just got out of a 5-year war, a 5-year, 4-year war, and he's still trying to rebuild the country.
and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills.
Attack, well, I mean, if you talking about Greece, okay? You talking about this little country right here? Greece ain't nothing. Greece, I mean, no disrespect to Greek people. I love y'all. I love y'all food, but
Beyond the seas,
when it comes to the military at that time, y'all wasn't doing that. Let's be real on that.
carry on the struggle until in God's good time,
The best victories y'all got is because
with all its
German soldiers tried to paratroop here, which was the most oblivious and stupid war plan to invade a country in history, knowing that this country right here is pretty much mountain wise, and these people know their terrain along with soldiers. Like, who paratroops there? You were better off naval invading. Communists didn't want, the communists at that time wasn't trying to make no compromise. Stalin is not making no compromise. It's either you give me your country or I don't even want to talk about it, or give me half of it or let it be a puppet. They weren't going to be involved in being puppets. And the only way Greece will allow themselves to be puppeted is if they got invaded and they came out with a white peace, which that's what happened with Germany. After the military blunder they had on trying to send paratroopers down there, aka the Flassamjäger. They give the East Balkans. What military what military purpose would the East Balkans have? Let's see. I mean, where's terrain at? There it is. But Romania was going to turn fascist anyway at that time. And Hungary was going to back anything that was going to be fascist because they wanted to turn fascist at that time anyway. So if that's the case, then guess what happened? You have another Poland situation where this country here would have influenced them and them. He by himself, what he gonna do? And he by himself, guess what happens? They're gonna ask for a white peace and just get puppeted by them. And then guess what happens? Now here, here, and here, they'll invade this and then come here. That's how that would have happened. I need guns. I need guns. I need one of those machine pistola guns. Where is the machine pistola gun? What hour is it in America right now? It's 4:39 in the afternoon. By the way, where you from? This is a good conversation we having too. And by the way, whatever I say, like, it's not the law. Like, it could have been different. This is just my opinion. It's opinion based.
Mr. Speaker, the disastrous military events which have happened during the past fortnight have not come to me with any sense of surprise. Indeed, I indicated a fortnight ago, as clearly as I could to the House, that the worst possibilities were open. And I made it perfectly clear that whatever happened in France would make no difference to the resolve of Britain and the British Empire to fight on, if necessary for years, if necessary alone. I
Moldova,
also
best
invite
country
your
ever.
permission to give the House and the
We got more
Committee
history than fake Romanians from 1859 because Charles Napoleon wanted presidency. You shot out for that. You ain't right. You ain't right for that, bro.
think us with me better than I do,
You gotta love it.
and such a tyranny. And I do not dissociate myself from them. But I can assure them that our professional advisors of the three services unitedly advise that we should carry on the war, and that there are good and reasonable hopes of final victory. We have fully informed and consulted all the self-governing dominions. These great communities, far beyond the oceans, who have been built up on our laws and on our civilization, and who are absolutely free to choose their course, but are absolutely devoted to the
Can't
ancient
take that
motherland,
away.
and who feel themselves inspired by the same emotions which lead me to stake our all upon duty and honor. We do not yet know what will happen in France, or whether the French
The
resistance will
Treaty of
succeed,
Paris made
both in
steel
Europe and in the British
wallet
Empire.
simulators. You ain't right, man. You ain't right,
And
bro.
I
Stop roasting
exhortate
them
other
people, bro.
communities that casting adrift their future, if they do not continue the war in accordance with their treaty obligations, from which we have not felt able to release them. The House will have read the historic declaration in which, at the desire of many Frenchmen and of our own hearts, we have proclaimed our willingness at the darkest hour in French history to conclude a union of common citizenship in this struggle. However matters may go in France, or with the French government, or other French governments, we in this island and in the British Empire will never lose our sense of comradeship with the French people. If we are now called upon
I
to
give him the
show that
right
they have been
to the
upreasoned to
Novitor
regulate their country
news station in
and
France
in final victory
about the
over
Roman
that soil,
nationalism.
they shall share the gain,
We are from
and
1300. Damn.
shall be restored to
I mean,
us
it's facts though.
by
What you saying is facts. It's
universal
undisputed
justice,
facts.
not
You can't
by
really go
great
against it.
hostile
I can't go
races.
against that.
Czechs, Poles, Norwegians, Dutch, Belgians have joined their causes to our own. All these shall be restored, but General Weygand calls the Battle of France is over. I expect that the Battle of Britain
The
will
Romanians
begin.
were still in India. Yeah, that's
On this
true.
battle depends the survival of Christian civilization. Upon it depends our own British life and the long continuity of our institutions and our empire. The whole fury and might of the enemy must very soon be turned on us. Hitler knows that he will have to break us in this island
Jesus Christ, I'm 2% away to open this next tree down.
All Europe may be free, and the life of the world may move forward into broad, sunlit uplands.
Hey, you really hate the Romanians,
And the
huh?
whole world,
Or the fake ones, should I say? I'll take that back.
including all that we have known and cared for, will sink into the abyss of a new dark age, made more sinister and perhaps more
Listo!
protracted by the lights of perverted science. Let us, therefore, brace ourselves to our duty, and so bear ourselves that if the British Empire and its
No like, no lie. Romania was made by Charles Louis Napoleon, the man who lost to Bismarck. That's facts. Oh snap! My man said, "Nah, I ain't holding nothing back on y'all. Y'all gonna get this here smoke." I've been holding this down for years, keeping my mouth shut. This is a free open stream. I'm gonna speak my mind now. That's true. He did lose to bit. He lost to Bismarck too. That's really true. Which made no sense. It still don't make sense in history. All right, give me a second. I'll be right back. You can talk to me in the chat. I'll be in the chat, but give me a second. Dang, that's crazy. So you right next to Ukraine? That and y'all got bombed 6 times? That's wild, bro. Hey man, God bless you, bro, that you surviving that. Cause I know that ain't easy at all. Yeah, y'all in NATO's playing now. Oh snap! I forgot to do something with this. Dang, I can't pick it now. Jesus Christ! Too late now. Facts. 1991 was way worse than it is now, so you got to look at it in that aspect too. Up, got enough now to do that path. Who was the guy that was running around in 1991 killing people left and right? I think he was, I want to say he was Yugoslavian. What was his name again? He was like committing like all types of like criminal war acts. Because back then basically started a genocide against every Moldovan person and burned. Yep, that's right. And we are an Algerian country. Yep, that is true. That's facts. Let's see. Guardia Nacional. Mission factor plus 12 stability wars. Okay, what was this one again? Yeah, it was this one that I picked. Yeah, go ahead. Give me some more info on that, bro. I just, man, I gotta admit, like, when y'all went through that stuff in 91, I was looking at it as a kid. I was like, Jesus Christ, man, these people are just getting tore up left and right. Like, the world about to end. And I understand it, like, looking at the news, y'all seem friendly and everything. Like, y'all seem like some fun, loving, caring people. So when that stuff was going down, I was like, blowed. Oh, in 1991, Ukraine helped Russia admit that the acts against us too, so they are not clean. Yeah, I know that, and which drives me crazy because it's like, bro, now that I think about that, I was just thinking about it too. Like, it's funny how they're fighting against each other, but yeah, y'all was the same one that was together committing those acts too. I was like, Matt. I was like, what type of karma is that? That's another level of karma. Yeah, they're not clean either. I don't know what's gonna end up with Ukraine. How they still alive and still fighting Russia is beyond me. But it's just wild. It's just wild right now. And our country's getting bankrupt because of this. Need to form an agency now.
Sí, señor.
Hold on 1 second. Mm. Let's get mechanized in here.
Sí, señor. Listo.
On Reddit and now they are saying we are brothers. Yeah, I know, which is wild to me. I seen that too. I'm like, yo, what? The strengths and the lengths politicians and corrupt governors and communist parties or fascist parties or whatever parties it is today, the lengths that people will go, it's incredible. What do I want? I don't know. Like it's just crazy to me, man. It's just crazy. The whole situation's crazy. That's what I'm saying. Y'all let people in and everything and be nice. It's like y'all still get screwed over. It just makes no sense at all. I need civilian factories before I can do anything. Crazy. I don't think y'all get nothing like before. I think he'll try to end that real quick. As far as the helping part, you may be right though. He may not help y'all, but at least he'll stop the war. You know, it is crazy because Trump made a speech the other day to Cuba saying, "If I get elected again, I'll make sure to free y'all and stuff." And it's like, no, you're not. Like y'all might. I'm not saying he might not. He might, but it's just like, why? Really, $400? How much is the equivalent? So how much is that like in Moldovan money? I cannot unlock that. That's crazy. Okay. 800. Right now, well, I live in Florida. I'm in Florida, so the cost of living is high up here. It's almost like $5. No, I wouldn't say $5. Almost 450 in gas. That's just in gasoline. So it's kind of like it's to live in Florida. You have to make at least, I want to say $2,500 a week. If not $2,500. You got to make at least 1,800. That's 2,000. That's crazy. 500 just on food. So how much is like the usual rent over there where you at?
Sí, señor. Firme.
Like 25, yeah. Or wow. Gasoline is $1. Yeah. Nah, it's like when you say a dollar, like we talking about gas or something? Because it's like we go by gallons. So right now our gas here, I think it's like $3.76 a gallon. That means if you try to get 5 gallons, you probably gonna end up dropping at least 20 on that. Town because I'm near the capital and the apartments are Soviet blocks. It costs like 4K or two. If you find a place with only 2 rooms, you consider the bathroom. Yeah, so something like that, like here, a 2 bedroom will cost you almost 3,000. Almost.
Firme.
Then they say you just need to starve a bit, then it's good. I'll sleep. I'll sleep. Hold on 1 second. At least we got a school in my town. Yeah, that's true. I don't need to go to just now. Right. Wow, that's crazy. Well, no, it's all good, man. Listen, believe it or not, I learned Spanish first before English, so you good. There's nothing wrong, man. Listen, I'm still in the Ebonics phase myself, bro. I still talk to hood time to time, so you good with me, bro. All right, y'all. I'm gonna end this stream. I'll be back in like an hour, hour and a half. I need a break. I need to get something to eat and rethink the strategy again because it's taking way too long to start a war. So I'm gonna go ahead and save the game right here, and I'll be back on in an hour and a half. So I'll be back in an hour and a half. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, Marius. I hope you on. Um, if you're not, good night, bro. And God bless you, man. But stay safe out there because I know you're still going through a war. So I holla at you, my man.